Okay, so can I just start this off first by saying thank you to the IIG team, the Independent Investigations Group, for getting this all out there and having the ability to meet up, share ideas and debate a little bit. And it was truly a blast talking to you guys. You guys were actually fun to hang around for a little while. So this is actually the whole video of where I was streaming on Poncho's channel. There's like 53 minutes. I'm sorry to all you guys that don't want to watch 53 minutes of it. You can skip through it if you want to. But I posted the whole thing because I'm getting tired of people complaining. And this is from people that think they're spinning pear monkeys. I'm getting tired of these guys telling me that I was cherry picking out of the conversation. So here's all the conversations in one so you guys can just shut the hell up. Okay? You can say whatever you want to in the comments. I'd rather actually if you shot me an email. Because if you shot me an email, then we can get in touch and then we can actually have a good talk like through Hangouts or Skype or whatever. Or my phone number is always posted at the bottom of all my videos in the description and at the end of what I say at the end of each video. So feel free to get a hold of me. Hate me or love me, it doesn't really matter. I'm willing to talk to you, give you the benefit of the doubt, okay? If I'm wrong in something and I can see that and you're able to prove a good point, then you know what? Obviously, I need to change the way I think about things. And I have had no problem doing that so far. So, yeah, feel free to reach out if you have an issue with the things that I was saying in these videos or in this video. Thank you very much to Spencer and to James Underdown. And Ross as well. And also, shout out to Sydney for actually being the one to initiate the experiment with the IIG team. It was a pleasure getting to know you, Sydney, and I look forward to actually going out again on the 27th and redoing this test the way it should have been done the first time. Peace out, guys. I hope you enjoy the conversation.
And it's literally a square in the ground that's a half a mile deep. That's solid rock.
Agave, this is the laser test, look, National Geographic.
Where?
Here.
Right there, Uber Dude.
Okay, hang on.
What's going on with Uber Dude? Yeah, I saw Patricia was on a little bit ago. Uber Dude, he put a video, but it was kind of like shaky, because I don't think they have cell towers there.
Okay, hold on. This is live somewhere right now.
Yeah, he's on the Lake Michigan.
Gosh.
Gotcha.
Gosh.
What are you, Lake Michigan? Where?
No. In California.
California, sorry.
Salton.
Salton Sea, guys.
Salton Sea.
Is it salty?
Yep.
Is he questioning him? That's for the TV, is it?
Agave, I'm not.
Is that Rob Skiba?
Say that again.
Yeah.
Say that again. What did you just say?
Illuminati confirmed. He's got 13 on his arm. Josh, slap the cunt.
What did he say? He's 90 meters away from what?
No, it's further than that. 900 meters or more. I don't know.
In the wintertime. You're not going to come back. But you guys... First of all, no civilian is allowed to have a laser that will go across 10 miles.
Mark Sargent slapping him.
And hitting a target with it?
Yep.
Okay. Set a new world record. I would love to see that.
This we don't have to do the video. We gave them the paper before we came here.
Tell them that Hilti makes a laser that goes 7.5 miles. You can rent it right now.
They're with us. Documented the whole thing.
Already documented, you prick. I'd like to see that. It's already been done.
The arbiter of all that is true.
YouTube's the best peer review in the world.
There's no better peer review in the world than
mankind
YouTube.
has ever known. There's information of all sorts.
That's right.
Put it back on, Uber. Unmute yourself. Let's hear it. That was just getting good.
Everyone else has to be quiet, Agave.
Well,
Unmute yourself, Josh.
Josh,
Mute yourself,
so
Agave. That's why, because we're coming out his phone.
Oh, minority
Oh,
in the,
you haven't
in
been
the
looking at
world
the
of
numbers,
science.
my friend.
Oh, name me one actual scientist to believe the
We
world
are
is flat.
scientists.
We don't believe it.
It's
not a belief.
We'll do it.
We'll
It was
come
so
back
weird
with
that
the laser,
the net
hit a
shield
target,
lady.
and make sure it's level. I would
Sorry.
love to see you hit a target on the other
start
side.
from one
You
shore.
won't do it. I'm predicting right now. You will not do it.
Because
It
we
will
have
not
because
happen.
we haven't done it already.
You won't do it again. You didn't show us.
But we have the. We
No,
have
what do you mean you won't do it again?
This was your experiment. We came out here and showed you in person. You show us in person.
Fair enough. Can I ask you
Okay,
Same
fair enough, dude.
Same
Fair enough,
I'd
man.
like to ask a question.
Challenge accepted, bro.
You guys feel the earth move?
No, this is a huge part of the argument.
When you ride on a train, do you feel anything? Are you familiar? That's linear momentum. Yes. Well, if the earth is rotating, that's angular momentum.
Hold on, I gotta get in this shit. This is gonna piss me off.
Get him, Uber.
Compound of the earth rotating and going around the sun. Why don't we feel that?
Because we're on the ball.
Shouldn't we feel a fluctuation of centrifugal force?
We're not sitting on a boat on an ocean.
You've heard of people that use
Massive
Dramamine, right?
rock floating
Yeah.
through the
Okay.
space.
Yeah.
You're saying that you can't feel when you're on a plane, when you're on a car moving, right? Because you're inside of it?
No, you feel on a plane it has
No.
Motion?
If you're on a plane, like the example that everyone gives,
Yeah.
right? And it's moving already and you're inside of it.
against the back of the
Are you
plane?
guys good?
No, but you can feel it moving.
Because there's air currents. It goes
No.
Regardless of
Because you are moving, because there's things in your ear that level you out. No. There's
It's
things in your
equilibrium.
ear.
We got our target right here. We're still going to do the boat test. What we expect to happen is by the time it gets to be about 3 miles out, you're going to start losing at least one of those horizontal stripes.
The red stripe.
So we're going to keep track of how far we are from shore. We're going to hang, and we want one of your people in the boat with us so you can see that we're just touching the surface of the water. We're not trying to dip it or cheat it or anything. And then we'll face the shore a couple of times, and it'll be a lot easier to see 3 miles than 5.6 miles. So stay tuned. We'll be back with that.
Do they think they're going to find a curve?
And I mean, your person is welcome to have a GPS on there too. I mean, GPS works on fundamentals of science too, right? So it's satellite based.
Why didn't they tech lasers with them?
I'm glad. I mean, I didn't think I was going to convince anyone. You should be convinced by the massive amount of evidence that already exists in the world, but I'm glad you're here and checking this out in the first place.
So why do you think we can see the actual shore where it meets the water?
Doesn't make the
You
water.
can't. You don't.
You see,
No,
Can we
you
just
don't.
confirm that you can't see that?
cars
That's for
driving
sure.
it, isn't that?
No,
We
that's
saw
about
cars-
40 feet
that's-
up.
We saw cars going
underwater on camera.
It's 20 feet above the
By the
ground.
way, when I was here 3 months ago, and here's another good tip, and radio your guys right now. There's massive freight trains that come by here. When you're on that side of the lake, it looks like the freight train is going right on the edge of the water. That freight train's probably at least 40 feet off
Well, you do
the
know about
level.
atmospheric refraction.
Yeah, but Jim, I
Yeah.
just captured
I mean, that's-
the trip on that road, and Darren said the road is only 20 feet high. And
Is that Karen?
What level were you?
No.
It depends on, I don't know where you were looking.
So
I don't know where
that
you were
road
looking.
is 20
Go
feet.
over there and watch a freight train go and tell me that's not riding on the surface of the water. You don't
Well,
see
that could
this
be a-
beach from over there, ever. You see that train track, which is, go look at it now, it's like 35 feet off the surface here. There it is, right there.
All down to perspective and mirroring, Div.
The interferometer is a scientifically accepted instrument.
This guy talks like a cop.
And an interferometer placed on the
See
earth,
that
there's no
there,
other way to
Bob?
build
I'm not
that.
mentioning
She's a
that.
news reporter, is she?
No, I have
That's kind of
another
the
test to
issue.
do. I can't argue all these scientific issues.
Are you familiar with this?
No.
Because you should be, because that's the actual instrument, scientific instrument that's used to measure whether the earth is moving or not.
Have you guys chosen a person to ride in the boat to verify?
Uber! Put Uber in the boat!
Nathan's big though.
Fuck that.
Uber's going sailing. We Uber sailing.
You throw him out of the boat.
Is that my girlfriend? Woohoo! Jammy bastard.
Let's be cowgirls.
Hey, your girlfriend's there.
Mm-hmm.
Giddy up, Pete. Giddy up, boy. Get your horse costume on. Maybe she'll ride you.
It's too bad that we didn't start refraction than we'd like to have a new shoot for sure. So I think we definitely at least showed that we couldn't see anything, below a certain height on the opposite side.
Did you say it? Because I guess I missed that part. I thought you were going to show you could see the high part and then lower it and track it as you lowered it.
Right, and so we kept having to lift it higher and higher and higher just to see it. But whenever we'd start to lower it again, then we'd lose it. So we were able to see it for sure 46 feet above the water, which is even higher than we were going.
Where did it look for? Where did it look at? What did it look like at 46 feet? Did it look like it was against the water, or did it look raised up?
It was right at that point. Well, you saw what I was looking at. Like, well, what you're calling the water, that's the area of debate right now. So I'm talking about the point of reflection. Okay, the point of reflection is where we just saw it emerging above the point of reflection, where before it started separating into two.
She's got no idea what point of reflection is.
Somewhere in that range.
I do think that when I was looking at what you're showing me, I could see it reflecting on the water, but I could also see it much like two
So they've concluded there's a 40-foot wall of water.
Right, but that's above the 45. So that was higher than the 45.
Right, but if there's like a higher level, that means, and there's space between the reflection, that means that we're seeing something that's above.
Hold on just a second. My buddy's trying to drive over here, and we're going to give him the address real quick. Somebody
boat marina, reflection of the boat.
The address. Come to the beach.
So let's go watch the boat launch.
Have they got a laser with them, Josh?
No, dude, they don't.
The short version is water.
Dude, they got this test so fucked up, dude. It's hilarious. Like, look at how glaring that sun is.
Uh-huh.
You don't. There's gonna be fucking problems on the water. They're talking about that they had to raise the balloons 40 feet to be able to see them around the curve right now. Oh shit. They're trying to tell us that there's a 40-foot wall of water, guys.
Okay.
Bullshit.
So if I try to canoe up it, I'm probably never going to get there, is what you're saying?
Brian, you're in the links dispensary. And you're right, they don't know how the ball works.
The moving in the plane thing with the atmosphere and all that, again, is nonsense. Because Coriolis, you can find both definitions, and you can't have it both ways. Either
We're going to prove curvature with a rubber dinghy, Agave.
Yeah, this is a joke. That's not a boat, fuck. That's a fucking raft, you idiot. Get a real boat.
So apparently they're going to take this out there
and hold it up.
Yeah, and they're going to hold it up and count the lines as they disappear over the curve.
Okie dokie.
Idiots. P900's going to bring it right back.
Yeah, I hope you got some P900.
I hope there's a P900 there, Josh.
Shade lenses,
dude,
or whatever.
There's like 2 or 3 of them here. There's like a dozen cameras here right now, dude.
Perfect.
There should not be a problem with this.
Good.
When they say, look, it's disappearing, the lines are disappearing, the P900's going to go, no, it's not.
Maybe spread those cameras out a bit, too.
Specializes in debunking the paranormal. People that claim there's ghosts and media spots. This is flat Earth. This is a whole other animal. We're a lot more organized than you might think.
He saw what you interviewed. He said he's going to get exactly what
He's going to get exactly what, yeah.
And because of the temperature, you should look up Skunk Bay. Okay, Skunk Bay. There's a video where somebody had a camera on a lake it was on a time lapse, like the whole afternoon. And you see that dark area over there? Like, let's pretend that's a town over there. During the day, the water was rising above the town all day, depending on the temperature. So if you're just looking at it, you'd say, there's no city there. Well, yeah, there is a city. Well, was the city being flooded 5 times a day? Or are we dealing with some sort of atmospheric distortion that is causing us to see things obscured on the other side? And the more you do these tests, and this is why they say we're not scientists. What is a scientist? Somebody who can observe something, do a test, repeat it, testable, observable, repeatable. That's a scientist, right?
Will the next test with the boat?
No, PhD supposedly means you're a scientist.
Just a shorter version of
To me, that usually means push here, dummy.
Right.
That's about all it stands for.
There's and moisture. There's a fantastic one, everything related, which is the best test I ever saw, which was a low rent test. It wasn't even a laser test. Was the cold weather. You can look up flat Earth freezing temperatures. So flat Earth freezing 7.53 miles, which was as a husband-wife team, same sort of thing. The lake had just started to freeze. He put his camera right on the ice here. She put a flashlight on the other side. Perfect. They could see it. They were talking to each other on cell phones. Explain that. This is why.
Just light a fire, don't you? On a beach fire.
Any other warm water lake, especially a salt lake, I'm gathering, is the worst test you'd ever want to do. But we were here as witnesses and observers only. We're not here to tell you, like, okay, you don't do this because it's a rookie mistake and you hate to see it, but we've done this. We've done this test. We wrote the book on this test. And we perfected it. So what you're doing now, we predicted what we said was going to happen, and with the boat thing, it's the same thing's going to happen, which is going to be a shorter version of it.
Samuel Robidoux did the same thing in 6 miles. The boat test in 6 miles.
So what you guys should do is that boat's going out there 3 miles wide, the boat goes all the way across.
This isn't a lake, right, Cuba?
Angle point and watch the boat go over 40 feet of
Yeah, right. Go to the 90-degree point and see where they go.
Are you on Facebook?
No, I'm just doing Oh, yeah. Happy to do it.
I'm on, you want to say what's up to Foncho P?
Sure, what's up?
Guys, this is Jamie right here.
What's up?
Howdy, bro.
Oh shit, I turned the volume down.
Is this a lake or the ocean, John?
Lake.
Oh,
It's a lake.
Oh, that's no good. I don't accept the lake.
How far is it to the other side, Josh? 7 mile.
I've hit him as hard as
Hi.
Woo-wee! Here we go.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
It smells like rotted fish here. Just letting you know.
Smells like home to me, then.
Yeah, there's a lot of dead fish carcasses on the ground because this is a sea with a lot of salt in it that fish don't really like living in. So.
Hi.
So
Hi.
these guys they wanted to see, right?
Yeah.
This is happening exactly what they wanted. They're doing it at the time they wanted.
They told us we weren't.
That was hilarious.
I mean, I'm wearing a white lab coat, as everyone can see.
But yeah, so now they're gonna send someone out on a boat with that weird flag.
And there's so much mist over the water right now that you can't see anything. It's like, it looks like fog in the UK over the water.
Especially if you guys look that way. Can you guys see that way, like farther down the lake? It's all hazy over there.
And they're going to say, oh, the boat disappeared because of the curve, when it's like, no. It's a mixture of many factors, and just this very simple fogginess and the moisture.
Visibility.
So they're only going to take that boat out 3 miles, though? That sounds ridiculous because we already know that 3 miles is our vanishing point.
It's pretty hopeless.
So what are they trying to prove there? Like, if they really wanted to prove something, they would take that thing all the way across, and we would watch it disappear the whole time.
You know, the thing is that flat earthers have done the same experiments over and over and over again with either inconclusive or conclusive results that it's flat. But this...
Hey, everybody, you can see the coast again.
It's sad that, you know, they might use this as proof that it's, you know...
And he got very pissed over there.
Angry.
Oh, he got really angry.
He sounded like a police officer.
Exactly. Well, Pancho, you were probably afraid hearing his voice.
We should give him a nice dry day on the shores of Lake Michigan. Teach him a lesson. Hey, how about weird.
I don't like the
Well, you're
lake.
Oh no, she's not going. I don't think Nat Geo is going to let her.
Why? I don't want to.
Hey, Josh, what's the humidity there?
It's a ball.
You know what?
Which is what they
Let me
do.
check real quick.
Very, very angry.
Dude, I accept this freaking challenge, dude. Let's bring him out here again and let's do a legitimate one at night with the freaking lasers.
If he's not willing, they're not willing to look at it.
As if you slept through the earthquake, Rose.
It says we can't get a laser, it's illegal.
Yeah!
Was
Last
that,
night!
wouldn't accept against it.
Yeah!
And the video could totally be falsified. It's like, okay, so you're...
Yeah.
Did it rattle the house?
Yeah.
It's 32% humidity.
Martin woke up. They woke up.
It's not too bad.
2%.
Oh, hell, we lost.
I didn't wake up.
It was in Spain Point.
32, that's
Wow, did it crack it open?
Mm.
It's
What, the whole river?
No, but it's gonna.
Yeah, I just wanted to know how
What,
much.
so there's going to be no river
We
then?
don't know.
It's going to go down to the core of the earth.
Hey, look, he's on the beach with Patricia. Look.
Which bed?
Hey, you want to say hi to Rish? Hey.
Was that Cleveland speech?
No.
Oh, hi, Patricia.
Hello. How are you, Raish?
Good, yeah.
I'm good. It's really hot here. It's like over 30 degrees.
You're starting to
Your
get-
temperature.
20 something. He's in,
Yeah,
she's
we're
in
getting
California.
sunburn.
With Uber.
My face is as red as my hair soon. Yeah, disappointing results here today, but not because the Earth's a globe. So there's that.
Take the all out.
Mm.
Did the TV nearly fall off?
No, it wasn't that bad.
Bye. I have to go over there. Talk to you later.
Okay, bye.
Did a new mountain fall?
No, because that's not the way it works.
He sounds so much like Punch, doesn't he?
Yeah, he looks so like
my voice.
Yo, send Patricia some baby pictures. She wants to see if you match up with Raish when you were younger.
Well, he should, unless he's from the Milkman.
Hey!
Or the butcher.
Or the baker. Candlestick.
That's why it's good to know these people really well.
Yeah?
But not too well.
No, darling, I was laughing. They said that you was from the Milkman. It was agave, Rose.
My daddy was the milkman for a while.
So you got a lot of brothers and sisters you don't know about.
Probably.
So, how long's this documentary that they're making, Josh? It's going to be like an hour long.
Depending on what you're going to take that.
You know what? Maybe I'll jump on this.
You know what? It sucks. It's on a lake, and that sucks. A standing body of water can be a puddle, and that's no good to me. It's got to be on the ocean.
Which way you headed now?
But it's a Sunday.
Back to Hollywood.
Back to Hollywood?
Any recommendations?
You're better off just hopping on the tan and going.
Yeah.
Just because if you try to finagle around any kind of traffic or anything, you're going to be going that much time out of your. Yeah, you're going to be going in, out, in. It's.
Well, at Beaumont.
Fastest way to Hollywood?
Yeah.
Take Fletcher.
That looks flat to me.
Oh, no, it's Fountain.
Fountain!
Shit.
Yeah.
Look, you can't even see a mile.
Yeah. You know that. That's so good, right? Yeah.
How smart do you have to be to understand water level?
When the humidity's low, you can see 32 miles in here.
Well, the
And is it
visibility
like
there.
in the
What's that,
morning
about
there?
3 miles, that visibility, look, Felix?
Yeah, it's morning there.
Okay, you boneheads. Wait until noon.
Yeah.
Noon until all that fog lifts. At
The
noon or
Carnegie
1.
Hall.
That's the other one. This is the
Yeah.
LA version of that joke.
It's only
The Hall.
30% humidity. It's 32% humidity, though.
Yeah.
Right?
Make it in Hollywood, essentially, is how
Ah,
to become
practice.
a celebrity in Hollywood, but she took it literally to answer the question, take Fountain. Because Fountain is an inside road that actually never has
That's the
traffic.
best path to Hollywood, stuff like that.
And she gives you like the off ramps and stuff.
It's funny, you do that. When I used to do that, it's close. Yeah. Here comes the train again.
So, I got a question. What about what's that like, dude? Like a night test, because at night you lose all the refraction and all that crap. Everything's clear. The water looks like glass.
Yeah.
Okay. And from Long Beach to Catalina is like 20 something miles.
Yeah, it's like 28 miles or something. Yeah.
All right. And certain nights you can stand on the harbor in Long Beach and you can see the lights in the harbor at Catalina.
But you don't know, what are you looking at though? Because there's hills behind Catalina that go up quite high.
No, I get that. But here's the thing, is to get rid of what you're looking at. I also thought of that as well. Build a bonfire on the beach.
Yeah.
Okay. You take off and you can have the bonfire in your sights the whole time to make sure it's your fire and no one else's. Those little colored logs, right? Like, you can. I was looking up how to make them actually. And you just toss them into the fire. They burn purple, green, blue. Just it's different chemicals that you're burning, and that you can tell that that's your fire. And candlelight is bright, so a bonfire, you'll see that from across, and you'll know that it's yours, and you'll know it's on the water because no one's building a bonfire up in the houses.
I would say if you are on the water in Catalina and that bonfire is on the water in Long Beach, that you should not be able to see that.
But you can.
Well, I'll tell you what.
But good luck making the
Are you?
bonfire in Catalina.
Yeah, or either
It's a
side.
national
Yeah.
park. I doubt that you'd be able to.
Or
Maybe a light.
Or you know what? Even not Long Beach and Catalina. Check this out. I can do it on the beach at like Santa Monica. I can do it at Huntington. You can have bonfires all along that beach.
Yeah.
And I got friends all around here with boats and stuff. So just going out 15 miles, 20 miles,
You won't see it.
you should not see it.
Right.
And I've been trying to look at this. No excuses,
Haven't you
right?
ever? Where do you live?
I live in Riverside now, and I grew up in LA County, in Covina.
Like, have you ever watched a boat pull out of Long Beach, a big boat?
Yeah.
And watch them sail off and.
Yeah, and disappear.
Yeah.
But the problem is, for me, is that guys like Neil deGrasse Tyson say that you're not high enough and you're not tall enough standing here to see the curve. Okay? Like, you can't get high enough. These are his words, that you can't get high enough to see the curve.
To see the whole curve, yeah.
To see the curve.
Well,
Curve.
well
Any.
I think what he meant was you can't see the whole.
Well, so, okay, so
profile
check
of the
this out.
Earth by standing.
So, from that far there to about that far there would be about how many miles?
Well, this lake is 30 miles long.
Okay, so let's say that that's only 10 miles, right? From
It's 10 miles
right
to
there.
our target almost, 9.6.
Yeah, but I'm talking about a cross, because remember, you're supposed to be on a ball. A ball curves at all points from where you are.
Yeah, but it's not a ball. It's a ball that's 24,000 miles around.
Well, 24,000 miles is measurable, right?
Yeah.
And it's 8 inches per mile squared. You know that,
Right.
obviously. So it's 8 inches per mile squared, not only that way, right?
In every direction.
But that way. So where's the 8 inches per mile squared?
Right.
That way. Because if you're saying that this boat is going to disappear at 3 miles on this
So not
water,
the boat,
or
one
part of
stripe
the thing at 6, 8 miles, 10 miles, or whatever, that boat would, you're saying that boat would be completely gone.
Right.
Behind the curve.
Right.
The lighthouse,
So-
Josh. The lighthouse.
That way. Why don't we see it curving that way? 10 miles is 10 miles. 25,000 miles is 25,000 miles.
It looks flat. You can't trust your eyes when the scales are you have to infer from seeing other things, like a boat sailing over a horizon, or not being able to see the actual shore over there, only being able to see things that are 40 feet in the air over there. So you have to infer, because to see that very gradual curve to our eyes, you just have to infer it through other ways.
Yeah, you just said science's favorite word, infer, or guess.
All right.
Like that rock right there? Right here in front of him?
Yeah.
What's the mass of that rock?
We would weigh that to find it.
and you can't unless you weigh it, right?
Oh, you could have a ballpark figure, and then you could have a precise figure,
but,
and then you could.
But you only have a ballpark figure.
Oh, gutted, we lost him.
Just turn back on.
Let's take him up to Superior. To Superior. That is by far just not Puddle.
Not being able, because I've talked to tons of scientific people about this now over the last 5-6 months, and their answer is actually mass spectroscopy.
That just tells you what's in the rock. That doesn't tell you.
No, there's also light mass spectrometry.
Right. That also.
All right.
Same thing. Those things tell you the composition of things, not how much
So
they weigh.
then, when you're looking at like that, how do you tell what that weighs?
Because of the amount of gravitational attraction it has. that we know the planets go around the sun, and by knowing the mass of the planets and how quickly they
Once again, that's a belief.
There's all this stuff is connected. We know.
Josh, can you ask him about the lighthouse, please?
Kepler showed us.
We know or we trust them.
We're connected to.
Okay, so but how do you know what the gravitational
attraction
is?
Because we measure the mass of the Earth, and we know that it's got a 1-year orbital speed.
How do you measure the mass of the Earth, though?
Because we know the approximate density of the average density of it.
Approximate.
And you know the diameter of it.
No way.
If I have a barrel and it's completely closed and I stand on top of it, okay, I'm standing on top of
Do
it.
you know what the barrel's inside the barrel?
That's where I was getting. You don't know what's inside the barrel. How do you know?
Because volcanoes come up and we can measure the lava that comes out of it.
Yeah, but how can you ever weigh that and know exactly how much? Because
you're doing an average density.
Well, no, they say that it's 4,000 miles down, right, from here to the core, give or take, right? Deepest hole is 8 miles. That's 0.002% of 4,000 miles.
But we know. Remember, they had to bore the hole, so they can take the material from that borehole and measure it and say, oh, it's the same kind of material from the surface all the way down, right?
Yeah, no, you can't. Because what if in another 10 miles it turned to freaking just completely water?
Well, how would there be water trapped?
I'm not saying how, but I'm saying you don't know because nobody's been down there.
Well, did you know that by major like earthquakes, they can actually measure across the planet, they can measure that vibration and they can look at an echosonogram basically. So they know there's a 4,000 mile ball of iron and nickel in the center of the Earth. Okay?
You cannot measure
And we know
something's
that
weight.
the mantle and the crust are rocky materials. So there's many ways to show all this. So
You don't know what's in the earth, mate.
all this because when we look at the mass of the Earth, it follows that with our distance from the Sun, we have an orbital speed of 365.25 days. So all of those things come in together, and they all are perfectly in harmony with each other. Now, as opposed to flat Earth theory, where they have to resort to saying, "Oh, NASA lies." I mean, that's a sweeping generalization that there's no evidence of.
Well, yeah, I don't like the generalizations either. I like to point out when they're lying. When I see it.
That's fine.
So case by case, okay? And that's like, to be honest with you guys, I don't think you guys have anything nefarious or going on. You no different than anybody else, dude.
Right. We're testing.
A year and a half ago, I was in your shoes, arguing the same points you are right now, dude. Like all the answers you just gave right now. I knew this. Like I don't.
You seem like you're well studied in science. So.
And that was just.
I have.
It creates a huge hump in there.
So why do you turn your back on the things you know
well studied more than scientists?
Are you? So you're talking about we know, right?
There's many different proofs.
Yeah, no, I get that. Do you realize that a lot of those proofs from a lot of the science that we use in school?
Right.
Have you ever checked out the 72 names that are on the Eiffel Tower?
No.
Did you know that there were 72 names on there? Nobody does, okay? But there's some interesting names.
Okay.
Like, you've heard of the Coriolis effect?
Of course.
He's up there. You've heard of, like, Foucault's pendulum? He's up there.
Okay.
You're aware of
Amperes.
All right.
Amperes.
Table. Freaking periodic table.
Yeah, of course, Mendeleev.
Dumas.
Oh, well, Mendeleev organized.
Lagrange. Lagrange.
He's up there. Lagrange.
Famous French people.
Yes. Okay. Pretty much for the last, month and a half, 2 months, been kind of digging into those guys.
Okay.
Figuring out what they were responsible for.
Okay.
What's been going on. And it looks like there's pretty much just about everything we learned in school is based off of these guys. Like almost everything.
Stop. They were the first. That's true. You don't think it's been recreated 1,000 times? Everything they showed us? That's what science is. It's recreation of effects. It's like we recreated, there's a curve here across the wall.
Well, you were saying that we know
didn't discover that.
You were saying we know the mass of the Earth because of the spectrography, the ultrasounds, all that crap, right? Okay.
Many different ways.
So, in the 1700s, how did Newton know that? How did Cavendish know that?
Newton Cavendish was a brilliant guy too, but Newton was a freaking genius, and Newton figured out a lot of stuff.
No, he didn't. How brilliant you are.
He was a Satanist. So, he figured out,
he was a child molester.
The science of, the math of calculus.
He was a trainee.
A lot of things that he figured out. So,
somehow they knew way back what was going to happen.
Determined by the velocity of things falling.
Well, because they're guiding it.
Because everything. If you were standing on Phobos Deimos, right? The mass.
That's assuming you could, though. If you take out all assumptions,
I know, but
much actually
assuming
you don't
stand
have
on Phobos or Deimos, okay? And you took a bowling ball, you could literally, with your hand, put it in orbit around those moons.
No, you couldn't.
And you would be in orbit.
One moment.
What are you talking about? You can put it in orbit. What the fuck?
Slowly start sinking to the surface of the thing. Are you talking about Cavendish?
No, he's talking about Phobos
and Deimos. You mentioned mass.
Josh, do the magnetic core, Josh.
Mass a second ago.
Well, and the Cavendish experiment does prove gravity, but I know you guys say, it's something else, winds or something. Of course, they're not done in a windy condition.
Well, there's also Coulomb's law.
Winds?
It's actually an electromagnetic connection. And it's funny because when you look at his equation,
but
it almost completely mirrors.
You can do the Cavendish experiment, as I recall, was done with lead balls, and that's not a particularly ferrous material.
And I don't think it was actually even that accurate because the dude was looking at it from outside of his shed because he didn't want any, he wasn't even in the shed. He was using a telescope in the 1800s. And yet, when we do it now, in this day and age, with our camera phones, and we have it on slow-mo and stuff like that, we still get different numbers. It's the gravitational constant that's not very constant.
I mean, certainly you have to account for the experiment themselves. You might be doing something wrong. So there's obviously, you can have human...
Well, and gravity has the whole inverse square law, right? Yeah. The closer something is, the harder it pulls.
Correct.
But we also have terminal velocity.
Yes. Well, that's because we have an atmosphere.
Okay.
Yeah,
but so terminal velocity.
Yeah. Because
now,
in a vacuum, there's no terminal velocity.
terminal velocity is falling, right?
Yes.
Now, the closer you get to Earth, because the inverse square is now flipped over, instead of it being, it's getting stronger the closer you get to Earth, right?
But not to the surface of the Earth, it's the core of the Earth. It's the center.
Well, if it's pulling it faster to the core of the Earth and the surface is in the way, you're going to hit the surface faster no matter what. If you're traveling 70 miles an hour and I put a wall in front of you, does it stop you from going 70 miles an hour?
Sure.
The wall does, but you don't stop from going 70. Right. You keep going.
Right.
So that's my point, is if it's traveling and it's being pulled to that center, and the closer it gets to that center, it's being pulled harder.
Nice, Josh.
Then if this ground is closer to the center than it was...
But my point is, if you're
1,000 feet up...
Okay, but if you're coming from 1,000 feet up, remember, you've got 4,000 miles to the center of the core. So 1,000 feet is a relatively small amount of fraction of that.
It's a lot more than the hole that they dug to tell you what's at the center, though.
Okay, but I mean, I don't know what your point about the acceleration.
No, it's just really you can't see that. The closer it gets to the ground, the faster it should be moving.
Yeah, but
because it's being pulled by gravity harder.
Inverse square law.
We don't live in a vacuum. We have air.
Well, we
don't live in a vacuum on the surface. we have air, and that's what creates terminal velocity. If there was a column of, all the way to the sky, to the space, and it was evacuated of air, and
you keep going to fairy tales.
How does that explain?
No. You keep saying imagine. Like, so I'm telling you things that we observe, and you're telling me, imagine this. Imagine if you could get to the center.
So feathers fall slower than bowling balls. I get it. Yeah, sure. But not in space. In space, they fall the same rate.
You're not in space.
Different rates because there's air resistance. On the moon, one of the astronauts famously held a feather and a hammer.
Are you kidding me?
As they broadcast to the moon with like trillions of watts of power, right?
No.
No, they had to actually.
No, they didn't.
Yes.
Inverse square law, Josh.
Check it out yourself.
Why
Look
would you
at
have to have trillions of watts of power?
Inverse square law.
Okay, so 235,000 miles.
A very large receiving dish.
A very large receiving dish.
Yeah,
so they had a very large receiving dish?
No, we did. They
we
had
did.
Large too. Yeah. When they transmitted, we didn't get it on a handheld walkie-talkie.
Well, okay, so
receiving it.
check this out. The largest tower that we have produces, what was it? I think it was like 100. It was like something like 120 watts or something like that, right? And that only went so far.
Well, you do realize, I mean, we could take a handheld walkie-talkie, just a minor handheld walkie-talkie. We could probably talk 2 or 3 miles over open distance with just a little handheld walkie-talkie. These were as sophisticated as we could get in 1969 and 1970. And they transmitted, yes, off of dishes to boost that power, and we received off very large dishes to receive the power. Oh, and by the way, it wasn't just America that was receiving their signals. Many points on Earth were receiving those signals, and they were all over the face of the Earth. They all had to point directly to the moon.
And it was a live signal, though?
Oh, absolutely.
Really? Why were the news stations pissed because they weren't getting the live feed, though?
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's you should check. You should really check that out. Then, dude.
You weren't alive. I was.
I know I wasn't alive. My great grandma was alive, and she even told me that the moon landings were bullshit. They were filmed in landers. So
there's so many absolute proofs, and I'm not. I mean, you can take all the pictures. I know you guys hate the pictures. You can take all the pictures and throw them away. Even without the pictures, there's 1,000 proofs that we went to the moon. 1,000 proofs.
Really?
There's 1,000 that were on a flat stationary plane.
Our spacecraft on radar all the way to the moon and all the way back. That's why they congratulate.
So why didn't the Russians go afterwards? They just
because if you read, their space program sucked. They had rocket after rocket after rocket blow up, and they went.
Why haven't we been back to the moon?
How come they haven't gone back to the moon?
We scheduled.
Why aren't there moon bases on?
That's a money issue.
Josh, do the magnetic core.
Money?
What the fuck? That sucks.
What research? Do your own research. I do research. I've been here silently just listening to you. Yeah. You sound like a parrot. And I don't mean to be disrespectful. You sound like a mainstream.
No, I'm
like
I sound like a guy who actually knows what he's talking about.
Like you're paid.
I sound like a guy who actually knows what he's talking about. I wish somebody paid me. Believe me, I wish somebody was giving me a check right now. This is all voluntary. No, I mean, listen, I was alive. I don't think you were alive in 69, 70.
No, I'm born 1980.
Okay, so
who gives a shit if you're alive?
We're going to go back more times, and they announced it at the time. Because of lack of interest and budget cuts, we're not going to, we're scrubbing the other missions that were already scheduled. They had been scheduled, and they scrubbed them. Okay, and if we're faking it all, why do we fake a failure? Apollo 13, why would we fake a failure?
It's all part of the programming.
Come on, dude.
That's a simple answer. So they went there on the first time and they did it. No part of the died, nothing
manipulation.
Why would they fake a picture of Earth halfway to space? Why would they have to fake that?
Who's behind it, you think? Behind what?
Does you know about Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin faking a picture of Earth from space about halfway to the moon?
It's like a pyramid, man. People at the top are royal bloodline families, supposedly.
You think there's some guy in a garage going, I think I can do this happen?
And everybody else from everyone that works at NASA, all that, they're all complicit.
Have you seen a funny thing happen on the way to the moon?
Yeah.
You don't need to know. Not everybody knows what's going on. Everybody on this subject thinks they're doing some great service to mankind, has no idea. The bigger picture.
Have you ever been able to work on any project that was supposed to be like secret in some way? Not like that. Okay. Well, not like that, but just anything that's just secret and compartmentalized.
We're the slaves. We're building everything.
Okay, I used to work for a company where we were designing entertainment systems for like JetBlue. All right, this is back before they had a TV in every headrest in airplanes. Okay. Where was I going with that? My bad. I totally.
That's all right. I was just asking, like,
well, like, oh,
if it's a grand conspiracy.
That's where I was going.
If it's a grand conspiracy, who's behind it and why?
It's population control. It's the bloodlines, dude. The royal bloodlines are in control. They make it very clear. You know, it's population control, dude. Chemtrails, you know? Chemtrails? Have you heard about them? Okay, you think that's a joke, right? That doesn't mean they're all made. They're medicating the population. You know?
All right, guys, let's go see what's going on everywhere else. I'm tired of arguing with that one.
Josh, you should have asked him about the magnetic core because magnets melt at 1,000 degrees.
And you should have asked him about Neil and Buzz fucking faking their picture of Earth.
You know what? I kind of already know that he's not going to go with gravity being caused by the magnetic core because he already said that it's caused by the mass.
Yeah, they're not going for gravity, but they say it's magnetic, and magnets melt at 1,000 degrees. You won't take nothing
you're saying.
Yeah, no
you won't even hear it.
Just the magnetic core, nothing to do with the mass or the gravity, just the fact that magnets that melt at 1,000 degrees stop working.
If they don't have an open mind, they shouldn't be there.
National Geographic, eh?
Yep.
So who are the guys in the blue shirts? Are they National Geographic or surveyors or something?
No, they're the skeptics, I believe, that are running the test. I think they're the ones that are in charge of the test.
Paid.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I've seen you guys over here like the whole day. What's up?
Yeah.
How you doing?
Good. You know what? We're working on the internet connection, so.
Having trouble with that?
Yeah, a little bit.
There's no signal out here. I got a little bit of a signal on my phone. I got 3, almost 4 bars on my phone actually.
Oh yeah.
But it goes back and forth. Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
It's like that.
I can log in the project cloud.
So I've got 4 bars right now. I'm helping you. And the password you should be back.
Yeah, no, it's working. With your phone, is working perfectly. Good. Maybe we should just let me see. So I need to make sure.
What are you talking to, Josh?
I don't know. Who are you? Who are you guys with?
We are. We Got You Media.
We Got You Media.
Yes, and News of the World. So We Got You Media is a production, and News of the World is a TV station. So
cool.
Yeah, we broadcast all over the Europe, and I'm trying to fix one of the issues that we have.
So then, where are you guys based out of then? Out of Europe, like?
Well, yeah, we all over the place, but mainly we in
Laguna Beach. I used to work over there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What did you do?
I was a loan officer.
Oh, cool. So what do you do now?
I drive Uber.
Oh, cool. You like it?
It lets me talk to people.
Yeah.
That sounds good. My son drove Uber in Vegas. Started out over
Now it's an issue. It's a problem. It's really not a whole lot of fun.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah. They've changed all kinds of stuff, but
Yeah.
whatever.
You think Lyft might be better?
They're just another demon. That's all it is. I found out something interesting. You know how they always say that we're not a rideshare company? We're not a taxi company, right? I found out why they say that. Because technically they're a technology company. And as a technology company, what they do and what they do for you as a driver is they're basically providing you the lead.
You're the broker.
Yes, that's all there is. They're the broker. That's why they're charging the drivers like a ridiculous. They're like, oh yeah, we're going to charge you $5 because we gave you this $5 ride. So now you owe us 50 cents because there's a 50-cent service charge along with that. Like, I've seen where people have actually driven for Uber, and at the end of the ride, they owed Uber.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
That my son did the same thing. That's why he gave up on it.
Yeah,
it's the little trip. So then what they start doing, they just cancel the rides. But you lose. You can't win. I think that's all fair.
Oh yeah. You got some peanut counter somewhere that figures out that if he gets 10 rides that don't cancel and one ride that does cancel, they've made like an extra $100 or something like that somewhere. Like, so, I mean, you do that and you times it by how many millions of drivers around the world, not just the country, but all across the world.
Making their money because they're getting millions and millions, where that one Uber driver's only getting screwed.
Yeah.
That's so greedy. Oh, worse than greedy. This is weird.
Well, when it started, Uber was a 75-25 split of the fare. Everybody knew that. And now, when people started noticing that Uber was getting like 50%, and they were like, what's up with this? And Uber's like, well, it's not 75-20 or 70-20 or 70-30 or whatever it is. They're like, here's the contract. It's per mile per minute, and that's it. And it's like, no, that's not what it was when they signed up. Like, but what are you going to do? You figure out other stuff you can do.
Yeah, they needed some companies the same way.
They probably had something in the contract that stated they could change it.
Oh, yeah, they do. As a matter of fact, they throw out these
living contract
updates. You have to click on I accept, and if you don't, then you just no longer are able to drive. Like, you really have no say-so. It's
right,
totally
that's how they rope you in. Yep.
Yeah, it's a totalitarian freaking system. And they're still not out on that boat, dude. This isn't gonna work. It's way too late. We told them this from the beginning that it's not gonna work, right? And then they're
stalling on purpose.
Well, they're going to get rid of the driver anyway and go to automation, so then it's all theirs.
Yep.
I believe this is not accurate.
No, it's not.
That's what
Not at all. And especially out here with that sun that bright and that hot right now, you're not going to get anything accurate. We've been telling them that they should have done this at night.
Yeah, another thing, you're going to get the lift.
Yes.
You're getting a lift from the surface of the water. It's vaporizing, right?
Yeah.
The rate is not that much because it's salty.
Did you
So
guys
you don't have a high level of vaporization, but at least they are getting some lift. So it's not going to be accurate.
Yeah.
It's not going to, since they get the lift, that helium, so even if it pulls it up about a quarter of an inch, it's going to offset the whole test. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah.
So this is not accurate.
No.
The best is to
Yeah,
shoot the
especially,
laser.
yeah, you're right. Especially if you're dealing with like magnification, because like if you have a high powered camera, right, and you're zoomed into something way far away, if that thing moves just a little bit on your camera, it looks like it shot all the way across the lens. Like, so yeah, like anything with when you're looking through a magnifying glass or something like that, if you move it just a little bit, you can move it completely out of your view, whatever the hell you were looking at. I get what you're saying. It really offset the whole thing. If it was at night, it's not going to matter with the boat or without the boat. It matters what you're able to see,
It's not the computer, it's the website.
and the light and the sun is going to present a problem now.
I'm already using his phone. Your internet is it's not working, so I'm using his phone. But I'm trying to log into Core, and Core is not accepting our password. And this is exactly the same password this is the same issue we had in Canada. So we have a problem with this whole freaking system. Can you check YouTube?
I'd help you, but you're using an Apple, and to me, that's just the devil. I don't know anything about Apple.
It's all the devil's work.
But Apple is the website.
The iPhone.
You know.
I've been PC my whole life.
No.
Oh, I think I know. Second one. It says the recording.
Hey guys, it's at least pretty out here.
Yeah, no, it's super cool.
Let's go see who else is running around. All right, let's go go see who else is running around, guys. Yo, can you guys hear me?
All clear.
Gotcha.
You're getting a better signal now, Josh, than you were earlier when you tried to stream through your own channel. This is pretty good.
It's staying not bad, right? That's why I gave up on going live, because it died within the signal died with 3 times within a minute. And I was like, that just sucks.
I saw Patricia was trying to stream too, and I was watching it, and it kept buffering and stuff. So, yeah. No satellites!
That's actually a good point. I was listening to this pastor, and one of the scriptures people are using, Job 26:7, and that is a verse I have used myself. Many people will, that believe in the globe. You see, the Earth's floating in space. It's hanging on nothing. And this pastor's like, well, no, it would have to be hanging on gravity. It would, according to your model, it's hanging on the gravity of the sun. So you can't even use that verse. They only have 2 verses. You have Isaiah 40:22, the circle.
Rob's on with Jaren right now, actually.
And Job, it's terrible. And Job 26:7. Those are only 2. Flat Earthers are
That's who he's talking to. All right, guys. I need to go plug my phone in because apparently it's down to 20% right now. Whoops.